To day 16 of NaNoWriMo. We're over halfway through the month. So theoretically, we're halfway through our books. And yeah, we're going to sprint. I think that I'm a little behind, but I should reach the midpoint of this book tonight, theoretically. So I have not been writing every day, but I've been doing every other day. And because I'm dictating and I'm getting more words, it's working out. So let me know how you are doing. Have you reached your midpoint? Have you blown past it? How is the Nano going? Yesterday, I thought that I was going to have to just abandon NaNoWriMo completely because I got the copy edits back for my next traditionally published book. And so those are due back in less than 2 weeks. They're very intense copy edits that I have to review, basically reread the entire manuscript with a close eye, answer dozens, maybe hundreds of questions from the copy editor in the text about like minute details. This is a very close copy edit. And I'm currently working on, before that happened, I'm working on 2 books. So this is adding a 3rd book that I'm kind of working on at different stages, but at the same time. And I think I wrote in my author newsletter that working on 3 books at once is a lot to hold in your head and to like do a very careful reading. So I'm doing a first draft, I'm doing an edit of a different book, and then reviewing copy edits on a 3rd book. And it is very intense. So I was like, I just have to give up on Nano. But I don't think I'll have to. I've calmed down and worked out a plan. So I think that I'm gonna have to take a break from something else. But Nano's not actually, writing in the evening is not affecting that. I can't do editing detail work in the evening. I can do first draft, just like top of my head, whatever happens, happens. So I'm trying to be a little bit loose. It's very intense to have copy edits, like in very intense copy edits for a book that's 120,000 words that I have to get done in like 12 days. So that's been a lot. Welcome, anime fan. Stressful trying to get the voice of your narrator. Yeah, that could be tough. First draft, I don't feel like I have the voice in the first draft. Like the voice for me comes later. I just try to get the story down. So I'm with you. I definitely don't feel like I have a good handle on either of the voices. By the end of this first draft, I should, but like I'm right there with you. Writer in disguise, behind on your word count. Okay, yeah, let's hope for a big writing session. I'm hoping for a big writing session today too. So, and yeah, thanks, Laura. It's yeah, I freaked out. Whenever I get edits back, I kind of freak out a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, don't look at them for at least a day, maybe 2, and then come back, and you'll be calmer, and you could have like develop a plan, come up with a strategy to attack it. And I started them today, the copy edits, and I got through like 118 pages out of 500 or something. So it's actually not as bad as I thought. It's going pretty well, but it took me 4 hours this morning on every single one of my brain cells. So I think I'm recovered now, although it did affect the rest of the day. I think I might have to slow down because I did not get anything really. All the stuff on my to-do list did not get done because my brain was tired after those copy edits. Anyway, so goal for this first writing sprint. Yeah, I think I should. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to do 3 because I am very tired. I would love to be able to do 3 sprints tonight, but I'm committing to 2, and hopefully I will get most of the word count that I want in those 2 sprints. That is the plan. If anyone wants to put their goals in the comments, and we can cheer you on and lift everyone else up. Nano is tough. I think we can do it. And even if we're behind, I'm a little bit behind because I'm only writing every other day. But yeah, it's I don't know if it's supposed to be fun. I think it was my podcast a couple weeks ago. It's like, is Nano supposed to be fun? Like, or is it just supposed to be, it's not supposed to be awful, right? Like, it's supposed to be a challenge. You're supposed to push yourself and work a little bit harder than normal for like a consistent period of time. But hopefully it won't drive anyone completely crazy. All right, so we'll get started with our first 30-minute sprint. Let me figure out what's going on. And happy writing, everyone. Best of luck with your goals for the first sprint. Are you working on more than one book? Wondering, Lynn? Yeah. Welcome. Hello, Britton and Melon. Welcome. We are about to start our sprint. I'm trying to dredge up some energy to get this done. I used to be a night writer. I really did. I used to stay up until like 1 and 2 in the morning writing. This was many, many years ago, before I even published any books, before I finished any books, which let me know that it wasn't super late writing, just didn't work for me. My brain functions best in the morning, but we will persevere. And yeah, ready to get started. Yeah, I think once I get the engine started, it usually works out. And I'm still tired, but it's fine. It's fine. The energy comes. If you build it, it will come. Like if you start, the energy will come. Is that like a thing? I'm just trying to open up my files. So, all right, I think we're good. Alrighty, let us begin, and I will see you in 30 minutes, and we will update each other on how we did. Happy writing. Alrighty. How did it go? First sprint? Did you kick off the cobwebs? I had the scene planned. It went well. I didn't have it planned super well, but I had an idea. And yeah, so far so good. I think I'm just about 100 words shy of where I wanted to be, but I'm close, so that is good. Welcome, Felicia. Hi, how are you? 895 words for Lynn. That's awesome. I do have a couple more scenes planned, but they're very loosely planned. Laura did okay. Awesome. 800 words for Writer in Disguise. Sounds good. Finishing up a chapter and moving on to the next one. Progress all around. Yeah. This chapter, I'm not done. I actually have to, I'm about halfway done. So it ended up being way longer than I thought it was going to be. Hi, Amanda. Welcome. But I'm kind of pantsing at this point. Like I'm pantsing inside the very loose plotting that I did. So discovering things, which is fun. I like it. Hello, yikes. 600 words. Nice. Anime fan struggles with fast drafting. As a draft either has too much narration and not enough dialogue, or vice versa. Yeah. No, I think that's always a hard thing to do. Like I just that stuff just comes in revision for me. Like I don't know what's even in this scene. It's a lot of like ridiculous things. It's very blunt and like not elegantly done. It's like she was sad, like and later I have to go in and change that and not telegraph every emotion. But yeah. Haven't started writing yet. Okay, so next sprint will be your first, Amanda. Welcome. Any tips for faster drafting? I think that letting go of worrying about things and just knowing that that comes in revision. Like if you're fast drafting, if that's the goal, it's just to tell yourself the story, to figure out what's happening and to try to lay the groundwork that you can fix in later drafts. So if it has too much narration or not enough, yeah. Yep, exactly what Written in a Melon says. Just write and fix it later. I find that it's very hard to try to come up with clean words right off the break. Now, not everybody is meant for fast drafting. So if fast drafting is really like bothering you and you're just not getting into it, maybe you're the kind of person who needs to just do a clean draft. And there's plenty of people who are like that. Write bad on purpose. Yes. Get the idea of the scene. That is good advice. And just get the words on the page. Absolutely. I echo all of that. Fast drafting really felt like freedom to me. But if it doesn't feel freeing, or if it doesn't work with your process, then there are people who are like, can't do it. I just need to write nice, clean, good words and feel like this is good in this first draft. But yeah, for me, it's just like, what's even happening? I'm just trying to get the people, I'm trying to get the emotions, the actions. The fast draft lets me know if I have problems and holes in motivation and stuff like that I'm going to fix in the next draft. But all writerly things, making it sound nice, and that is not a fast draft activity, in my opinion. Yeah, not a clean draft person. And it's probably split. I wonder if it's like 50-50 or what the split is on that, because I do know lots of writers who are like, I can't do it. I can't write like that. Yeah, this is good advice too. If you get a mental block, change your text color to something else. I write in all caps when I know that this needs to be fixed, or if I'm using a placeholder, or it's just like I'm writing a note to myself. I've heard about the Comic Sans thing. I've never tried that because Comic Sans really gets on my nerves. But I've heard that trick. Like it can be a thing to change your brain and make you look at it a different way. In Scrivener is good because it's got the colors for the draft. It also has the annotations, which everything is in red and in a box around it. So there's different ways to highlight things, which is one of the other reasons why I like Scrivener a lot. So, yeah, I think I need to write the next half of the scene, which is very vague. Brackets and caps. No worries, no problem. Alrighty. Is everyone ready for the next sprint? It's like a race, I guess. Oh, so like it's similar to brackets using a percent sign. That's cool. Easy to search for. Yeah, there's lots of different tricks and techniques if you need to come back to something to find a weird character like that. I haven't used percent signs. I haven't seen that before, but that's a good. Because how? I mean, do you ever use percent signs in a novel at least? Very rarely. Alrighty, I'm gonna back this up and then get started with the next sprint and get all the words. I'm trying to do what I should be able to do more in the next because I had to spend the first few minutes rereading or the last scenes I wrote. So gonna increase the goal a little bit for the second sprint and just keep pushing. All right, so I will see everyone again in another 30 minutes. All right. Second sprint done. I'm trying to get my word count for the day. Oops. See how we did. Oh, nice. All right. It's a reasonable word count. I'm hoping to try to, it might be unreasonable to try to do this much, but because I'm actually losing my voice. Like, dictating is great, but it means talking for like 30 minutes. And that's always tough on my voice, although it saves my wrists. So writing is hard, y'all. It's hard on the mind and the body. How did everybody do in their sprint? $714 words. Very nice. Yeah, I hadn't considered the strain on the voice too until just now, and it was just like, what's happening to me? 812 for Raven. Congratulations. Let's see, Rita Melanin. No problem. Congrats on your word count. Laura did better than this one and the first one. That's cool. Very good. I'm happy to hear that. And Wonderland finished up a scene. One more to go tonight. Almost 1,000. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's good stuff to dictate, and I feel like the story is coming out different than it would had I written. But I'm feeling I need like a cough drop. I'm out of tea, so yes, I have to go get some more tea and the cough drop, and then I'll be good to go. But yeah, if your fingers and hands are hurting, getting used to dictation is tough, but I finally did it. So I think it will make the difference in all of the various repetitive stress stuff that happens if you write a lot, if you're on the computer a lot in general. Now I just have to remember to stand up more. Usually I do stand up. I have a sit-stand desk, so that's another thing. I can't sit too long. There's so many things about modern life that just destroy your body. Anime fan finished up a scene. That's great. That's so cool. I'm sort of leaving it. Well, it's kind of the end of a scene. It's sort of a cliffhangery scene. I think there's actually more to this scene, but I'm not going to be able to get any more done today. So sometimes it's nice to end in the middle of a scene so that you can know where to start next time. You'll be like, take off running. But oh, stuttering. Yeah. Words under pressure. That's interesting. I don't think of it as pressure, but I can understand not being able to dictate, and it is a whole different skill. It is a whole different part of the brain. So it does feel like writing differently. Like even though I'm telling the same story I would have otherwise, there are just weird brain things that happen that I don't understand either. But yeah, I mean, it's, I've tried for years, literally years, and it's not until now that I've actually been able to do it. So I know that it's not for everyone, and my voice isn't super happy, but I'm happy with my word count and being able to be productive. Although, mentioning writing 3 books at one time, I literally could not remember the name of the book that I'm writing right now because I was looking for my notebook and I'm like, what is this book? Because there are 3 in my head. So I don't recommend trying to do 3 at once, but I'm going to give it a shot, see what happens. Sitting to write is like being under pressure. Yeah, that's interesting. Writing by hand is also a different kind of part of the brain, I think. And I don't have the ability to write like long scenes by hand. I have a friend who writes all of her first drafts by hand, and my hand just won't do that. But yeah, when I first started dictating, or if I at one point I was trying to dictate by like actually recording, so not speaking into the microphone, but actually making a recording file. And that felt like pressure because you see the time ticking away and the blankness if you're not speaking when it's recording. And you're just like, I'm wasting hard drive space trying to do this. So, but kind of doing it into the computer and seeing it type in real time is a different kind of energy. So I'm technically not writing 3 books. I'm writing 2 books, and I'm reviewing the copy edits on the 3rd. So as long as I can be in different stages, I can work on different books. So first drafting this one, I'm editing another one, I'm reviewing copy edits on the 3rd one. But it is a lot, and the copy edits will probably only take me another few days because I couldn't maintain that for too long. And they're vastly different. They're different genres. It's like historical fantasy, paranormal romance, and this is like a cozy fantasy romance. Different time periods. Everything's different about them, which makes it easier too, because I'm not getting them mixed up in terms of the story or the characters. The name of the books will escape me, but yeah, it is not easy. But like when I'm in one, I'm in that, and then take a break, switch gears, come back to the next one. That seems to be the way. And I've only been doing this for like 2 days, so catch me next week and I'll be like a basket case. I think I wrote a lot more by hand as a kid too. I actually had a typewriter. I was writing when I was young, like middle school. I had like a little typewriter I would type my stories on. And I don't know how I did that. I really don't remember, because typewriter, talk about pressure, right? Like, yeah, there's whiteout, but I don't remember what I was thinking about. It was a long time ago. We didn't have a computer, so I had a typewriter. But that's very cool. I think that, and I just wonder if there's a way that you could like clone yourself and write a story in different ways, write it by hand, write it, type it or dictate it. Would you actually come out with different things? Would it bring out different aspects? Or sometimes when I'm dictating, it feels like it's more natural because you're talking and I'm doing it the way that I talk. Now, this is not a first person story. I think that a first person story would really benefit from dictation because you're in the character and you're in the eye and you're just deep, deep into the point of view. But even third person, even with a narrator. And I'm thinking in the second pass of this nano story, I'm going to add like a narrator. I was thinking that like right now it's third person, but I want to add a character, like a really voicey narrator. And we'll see how that goes. But that's not something that I can think about too much now. And yeah, I wonder if there's when cloning becomes a thing in like 20 years, when we're all cloning ourselves so that we can get extra work done. We have a clone that does my dishes and does the laundry and then writes, does my edits. Maybe that's an Android thing. Like you clone your brain into the AI. ChatGPT will be like a brain clone that will just do things for us with clones. Let us not speak that into the universe. I'm gonna retract that because I feel like it's coming, but I'm not really looking forward to the clones. Alrighty, so where is the Jetsons world we were promised? Like, wasn't the Jetsons like 1999? We all need Rosie the Robot, and the Roomba is just not cutting it. How do I word it with dictation? I just tell the story the way I normally would. So it's similar, but it has a different kind of flow. So while I was trying to get used to it, I couldn't get into the flow. But recently, I'm just able to, normally when I write by hand, I think of the first line or the first couple of lines of a scene, before I start typing. So the beginning of a writing session, I can't start until I have the first sentence. And it's kind of the same with dictating, but once I have the first sentence, then I have the hook into the scene, and I talk it like I'm narrating it. This one's third person. So it's a different kind of flow, but I'm able to get into a dictation flow, which made all the difference in the world. Oh, okay. Was it the 2000s? I have to look and see what that was. I had read somewhere or heard something that was like, it was some crazy time period that we've already passed. But yeah, we all want the flying cars, don't we? Flying cars and the clones until the Clone Wars happen. So I think I'm at a point where I need just to plot some more because I don't have much more plotted, and that's a task for another day. So maybe tomorrow or this weekend, depending on my energy level. We'll be sprinting again next week, Monday and Wednesday, for the next 2 weeks. And I know Wednesday is the night before Thanksgiving, but hopefully I'm only cooking one thing. So if you can make it, that's great. Get some words in before the craziness of the holidays. Okay, Jetsons was set 100 years in the future and aired in 62, so 2062, I guess. I did not know that. Well, I guess we have time then. We have time for our flying cars and our Rosie the Robots. More time than I thought. Thanks everyone for being here, and I hope that was helpful for you getting your words, and I hope to see you again next week. So, happy writing over the weekend, get more words, and we'll see how we do next time. Good night.